Dear future Enoch, if I sound a little bit stuffy today, it's because my summertime allergies have kicked in a full month early, and they suck. So a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that I had a job interview for a full-time position, and I didn't get the job. So I wanted to talk about two things. One, what happens next, and two, how do I handle disappointment? The jury's still out on whether or not I'll still have a job in this department. My manager wants to keep me on, but he can't make any guarantees that he'll be able to extend my contract or offer me an alternate position. He did encourage me to apply to other full-time permanent positions around the college, since we're a pretty big institution, and the ultimate goal for me is to get into a full-time permanent position. Mostly because it's unionized and protected, and it's much easier to transfer around a college once you're full-time permanent. Basically, get into the Insiders Club, even if it's for a position you weren't quite expecting. That's about as much as I know about what's going to happen next. Now, the second part, how do I handle disappointment? Or, how do you handle the fact that you not only failed the job interview, but might not even have a job at the end of the summer? In my household, there are three ways of dealing with disappointment, all equally unproductive. The first method is to go all panic mode. Tunnel vision on the fact that you're going to be unemployed in 2 months and you better start applying for jobs now. And I don't mean carefully evaluating your options. I mean like going to job listing sites and applying for every single posting there, even the ones you're utterly unqualified for. Because you never know if an employer will want to take you on and sign you up for a job that you absolutely hate. Maybe they'll even scam you. And while you're working your terrible new job, you get wind of the fact that the position you wanted was opened at your old workplace that you now can't apply to because you don't work there anymore. No one wants to be the one who migrates to greener pastures only to realize that the salt mines they left struck gold. You can't expect foresight in panic mode because the whole point of panic mode is that you have no foresight. The second way my household deals with disappointment is to blame someone. Blame yourself. It was your fault for failing to interview. Actually, now that I think of it, it's not so great to blame yourself. Blame someone else. Find a scapegoat. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. I don't have a sister. Your cousin, your friend, your friend's cousin, your cousin's friend. Your neighbor, your neighbor's cousin, your cousin's neighbor's friend. Your neighbor's dog, your neighbor's dog's friend. Your neighbor's dog's friend's owner. A politician. I mean, you can get as irrational as you want, and even if those people were to blame, partly or fully, blaming them isn't gonna solve the problem at hand. Much less because, just like panic mode, blaming someone throws foresight out of the window. And then later, in retrospect, you have a whole bunch of broken relationships. And the main problem still hasn't been solved. The third way my household deals with disappointment is apathy. Just ignore everything and everyone who talks about the matter. Basically, ignoring the problem and passing it off with no intention of ever going back to it. Ultimate procrastination, but instead of saying you'll do it later, you just don't talk about it at all and hope everybody else forgets about it. And if someone brings it up, just shut them up by changing the topic. Or by telling them to shut up. It's the type of solution that guarantees the problem will never be solved. It just sort of gets worse with no one caring about it. Or in this case, you just become unemployed. I've tried all three methods, and to say they don't work is a bit of an understatement. So how do I handle this level of disappointment and potential impending doom? I'm not the naive optimist that thinks that he will for sure have a job at the end of the month. The best may not happen. But at the same time, it's unproductive to think that the worst is going to happen because the sky isn't falling down. So here's what I do know. My contract is currently valid until the end of August, so until the end of August, I will still have a job. Secondly, my manager wants to keep me on, which is a lot already. I mean, things would be a lot different if your manager was looking for every reason to get rid of you. Thirdly, my manager does have a lot of connections around the college, so those connections can come in handy. On top of that, I have a lot of connections of my own around a department, and since our department works with a lot of departments, the world is smaller than one might expect. And failing all of that, I still worked here for a full year. A full year of continuous employment is already longer than any other job I've ever had. And in terms of investing in and upgrading myself, this job has had the biggest impact on that. So what's gonna happen next? We'll see. But I do know that there's no reason to panic, there's no reason to blame other people, and there's no reason to be apathetic. Because given what I do know, I'm not actually in that bad of a position. Yet. Future Enoch, I'll see you next week.